Hello, I'm here with my notes on Chapter 3 of House of Leaves. In these videos, I'm just going through House of Leaves page by page and just sharing my notes. You're not going to find any unified theories in these videos. These are all just random notes, page by page. Maybe to help you go through come up with your own theories, or just because you're interested in learning about the references like I was. So we're starting on chapter 3, beginning on page 19 here. And we get a quote here. I have this big note in the way, from Dorothea Lange, this epigraph. And this is from an essay on the morality of photography profession. That's what it's called. The grammar's a little off there for me, but that's what the essay's called. And I had this other quote here that I wanted to share that I thought was also relevant. For in his natural zeal to master the craft, he has too long relied upon the technical to engage his energies. Now the technical has relaxed its challenges. He's often left with the feeling that there is nowhere to go. He is lost, he is confused, he is bewildered. Accustomed to discover, now suddenly he is obliged to interpret. And I thought that fit Navidson, because we know that he is taking a break from photography by living in this house. And he's left with this feeling that there is nowhere left to go, and he has to now move from discovery to interpretation. And so he's trying to find meaning in the house. I thought that was quite interesting. And then we have the Hebrew here version of Exodus 3:11. And as I said before, there's a lot of explicit and implicit religious imagery and religious references in here. So this is a phrase where Moses questions God about who he is, and God's response is, "I will be with you." And I didn't write it till the end of this chapter, but I thought that another interesting phrase that could be juxtaposed with this one is from Matthew 27:46, which is when Jesus is dying on the cross, and it says, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Or Eli lama sabachthani. I think I'm probably saying that wrong, but that's, yeah. So about there's lots of arguments about who was in the house, and there's arguments that God is the house. So I thought that was interesting to juxtapose the phrase of Moses saying, God saying, "I will be with you," and then the phrase of Jesus learning that, or assuming at that point, that God has forsaken him. I thought that was interesting. Okay. Here we learn about Johnny's scars for the first time. His forearms are scarred, and that plays a larger role in the text about how they were scarred, and the link to Pelafina and what happened there. I like these different phrases that he tells these stories. He says the story's an absolute crock of shit, as if like he's a reference to this whole story. Like, we gotta stop putting meaning in all of this. It's just a crock of shit. It's just, something fun. I also think it's somewhat of a relief not to hear the true story. I thought that was interesting too. This phrase, we all create stories to protect ourselves. This more implications of the story not being true. I'm not saying that this story is nonfiction. I know it's fiction, but if you've read the book, the struggle to determine what is reliable, not reliable in the text. Okay. I'm going to continue on with a footnote down here, and then we'll go back up here. So here we have a reference to a Shakespearean mother That's how Johnny referred to his mother. And the first mother that popped into my head upon hearing that was Gertrude, Hamlet's mother, who married her husband's killer. And we know that there's questions about Polyphena's relationships and who is Johnny's father. And so there's spoilers throughout this. I'm going to warn you. There has to be spoilers, right? Can't talk about House of Leaves without there being spoilers. So, anyways, we do know, we do get a reference to Donnie as Johnny's dad, and then we do get a reference to his abusive stepfather. There's also speculation that Zampano might be his real father. So this idea that his mother married her husband's killer is interesting. Maybe a bit of a stretch with just the word Shakespearean mother, but I like reaching for that, right? Okay, and then I'm going to jump up here. We get this word amerotic, and that word means total loss of vision, and it occurs without pathological changes to the eyes. So you can look at someone and can't tell that they are blind. But who else do we know that is blind in the text? This is in reference to Homer, but Zampano is also blind. We have a blind guide here. The word amerotic stands out because it is also used on page 43, and it's here we go, amerotic guide again. So that again is the connection of these not necessarily strange words, but words that stand out, being used by both the Zampano text, by the truant text, and also by the Polyphena text as well. We see this kind of interchange of these different words. Okay, another interesting thing to point out is the real estate agent was Alicia Rosenbaum, and Ayn Rand. That's her birth name. So I'm not too sure why she's mentioned there. I think I have more notes. No, I don't. On her connection to House of Leaves. I'm just gonna pause the video and look at my other notes here. I was right. I have so many documents about House of Leaves. I forgot to link these two together. But on footnote 167, we get a lot of references to a bunch of different books. And one of those books is The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand. So she's here referenced by her birth name. And in The Fountainhead, the main character is an architect battling against conventional standards. Which is interesting because it's a book about architecture. This is a book about a piece of architecture. So just, an interesting connection there. I haven't actually read The Fountainhead, so I can't link it any more than what I was able to Google there. Okay. And then over here, we hear about the death of Navidson's father, and his mother vanishing. And that's just like Johnny's parents, which were mentioned over here, that his father had died. And then she said, my crazy Shakespearean mother followed him. But is she dead? Is she living? I don't know. She's vanished anyways from Johnny's life. So I thought that was interesting. So yeah, the next page is chapter 4, so that is the end of my notes for chapter 3. Let me know what points you have to talk about that, and thank you for watching.